Welcome to the Defining Moments Black Men series of the Authentic Joe Show. I'm Jolena Johnson, your host, and it is my privilege and pleasure to welcome today's guest, Mr. Shawn Lovings. How are you today?
I am doing absolutely fabulous, Shalina. Thank you for having me on.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Let's get right into it. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, your occupation, and your background?
Oh, okay. Well, um, let's just go here. I should start with I am born and raised in St. Louis, moved away and went away to Jackson State after high school, Jackson State University in Jackson, Mississippi, and did my years there and graduated with a degree in art, majoring in art with a concentration in advertising. And then got married, moved to Atlanta, lived in Atlanta now. Well, lived in Atlanta for like 32 years, but in that journey of those 32 years, I, actually got a job in my field. And how many of us can say that when you graduate from college, man? It's like I didn't even work. I didn't even do anything in my field, but no, I did. I ended up being the executive for Upscale magazine, where I was over entertainment and fashion and automotive for about 4 years there. So, which was an awesome time. That was just like, who I got paid to basically party, but still bring in the dough. So, but for the most part, later I was asked to be the general manager for another publication called Uptown Magazine. I just so happen to, so that people didn't know, but Uptown Magazine, just one of the dopest magazines. It's beautiful. Some friends of mine out of Harlem, New York, that own Vibe, asked me to run that publication in Atlanta. So I had opportunity to do that. The world slowed down after 9/11, transitioned into education because the African-American advertising agencies were shutting their doors, man. It was just a real hard time then. And so when they were shutting their doors, I had to pivot. And so I jumped into substitute teaching in the process of that. And then later became an art teacher in Clayton County public school systems in Atlanta, Georgia, where I then just, started coming up with these ideas as an entrepreneur, like, man, what could I do with kids, make money, make an impact? And I later became an author of my own book, Mind Your Manners with Mr. Lovings. This would be the cover of the book, if you can see that.
Yes, we can. Okay, awesome. You're kind of hitting something and your camera's moving, so I don't know what's going on there.
Okay, well, I guess because I have my elbows on the table.
So. Yeah, that's better. Okay, thank you. Yeah, no elbows on
the table.
Yeah, that's funny.
I wasn't eating nothing at that moment, so I could put my elbows on the table. That was a good one, absolutely. Hey, as soon as I did it, I was like, but I wasn't eating anything. I say, my plate is... nothing's on it. Elbows off the table. There we go. No shaking.
I love it. And if for people who don't get the inside joke, he's teaching manners and etiquette and things like that. So that's why that was funny. Okay. Yes, there it is. Okay. So can you how would you describe yourself?
Well, I would describe myself as a very outgoing person. Always, I was the life of the party in high school. I was the life of the party in college. Running a publication that dealt with entertainment. I was a life of the party in Atlanta. I was tired of being a life of the party, so then, that very, outgoing guy who just, relishes his friendships with his friends and family and just a hustler, baby. Let's be real. You can't spell hustle without the STL. So let's keep it real.
Okay. No. So if you had to pick a phrase that would be the theme for your life, what would that be?
Go getter.
Go getter. Okay. All right. That's
just a go getter.
Okay. Thank you. All right. So many people may say, what is a defining moment? So a defining moment is a point in life when a pivotal decision must be made or when an experience fundamentally changes a person. What defining moment would you be willing to share with us today?
And can I share about 5 of them? No. A pivotal moment for me was while working in education, having a male student, when I actually said to him that, I love you, son, and to see him break was like, wait a minute, wow. And all that came was because he's never heard a male tell him that they loved him. And so being a brother who comes from that fatherless generation, I understood immediately what that looked like and what he was feeling, because I know what it was like not to feel that same thing. So then our relationship became different, because he was a little rambunctious kid in class, and it later changed because of that. So I would say the pivotal moment for me was being able to reach out to these kids and to that particular student and change the trajectory of his relationships with a male figure.
Okay. And so how do you know that it changed? What did he start or stop doing as a result?
Well, I had a program that was called Tied to Success Thursdays in the school, and he was a part of it. And those kids who are a part of my program, they can't mess up. They get two chances, honestly. I don't give three. You get two. You get one, I'm let that go. And then when teachers report back to me how those students that are part of my program are doing in the classroom, and with him, when we had that exchange, not only was he in the program, I just saw this shift in him that he never really wanted to disappoint me, and he did everything in his power, because he was a foster kid. He went through a lot, and then I collected suits for those boys who was a part of my program. And on Thursdays, they got to dress up in their suits because their teacher wore suits every day. So it was like, they was always say, man, Mr. Lovings, you fresh, Mr. Lovings, you clean. And so I was like, you know what? I let them do this too. So having, my social media following, friends donate money to me to purchase these suits for these young boys. And, I went viral with a video that I did during COVID, over, I think it's got like over 700,000 views. And, I was asked to do so much. And those kids' self-esteem went through the roof, because when they put that jacket on, man, I'm telling you, it's something about a suit. It's not for everyone. I get it. We're in such a casual climax about how we move around and in our jobs today. I don't like comfortable. When I'm in a suit, I feel like I can perform. I'm on the highest level of let's go get it. And that's what they started to feel, because people looked at them different. The students looked at them different. The teachers and administration was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." We're just like, "Wow, they're really getting it done." So,
and so much. Let me ask you. So, what grade, or was this elementary school?
Elementary, yeah. I was blessed to get them early. I wanted, and it made sense to get them that early, because I've had some students. I swear, if I could pull up my phone right now, one of my female students, her grandmother sent me a picture just yesterday of her. She's a sophomore in high school now. And I was just like, wow, the fact that these parents even still, because I gave out my number, I didn't care. The kids still reach out to me and just to let me know how they're doing, and I love it.
I think this is wonderful. And you, though you defined that moment, the earlier moment when you said, "Hey, I was in Atlanta, I was in the entertainment scene, and then I had to pivot, and I chose to go into education and use my degree." I think that is fantastic. And of course, I didn't know you were art major. So the fact that you ended up calling it the art of etiquette, I mean, all of that is, that marketing spin. We have something in common. When I moved out to LA after graduating from Mizzou, I actually started working for Anheuser-Busch representing Budweiser, and then I worked with Cavassier. So when I was with Cavassier, I actually sponsored a party for Upscale Magazine. And
wow.
Yeah, I believe that was in April of 2002.
Oh,
so I don't know. Yeah.
Whoa. 2002? Where? In LA?
It was in LA.
It was in LA? Okay.
The relaunch or the rebranding of
Upscale. Yeah, no, I was there then. I didn't make it. Wow, get out of here, Julie. I didn't make it out there to that. Now I'm serious, because I know we were definitely on the rebrand, and Diageo was one of my clients. Man, and wow, that's crazy.
So, this is why I love this series, because there are so many things. I mean, there are people that I've literally known all my life and have been interviewing. And then, we find out things. And one of the reasons I wanted to have you is because I have followed you on social media and I've seen the impact. I've seen the confidence and the swagger of the little boys. And when you see these little boys in suits, it's just so fantastic. I'm getting goosebumps now just even thinking about it. So can you tell me, why is it important to catch the young men early? You made that statement. Tell us 3 reasons it's important.
Well, I mean, think about it. The last time we used to dress up really was when we were going to church. That's that one pivotal time in your life that you can say, I got dressed up to go to school. Now, church makes it so casual too. So it's just such a relaxed world now. And I'm like, that's cool too. But the confidence that a suit and tie makes a young man feel, I don't care who it, older, younger, when you put it on and the compliments that you get, this sagging thing and just looking grungy, and hey, that's you. I tell my kids, hey man, I just expose them to a side of both. Hey, you could do you doing it, but try this too and watch what happens. So I just try to give them this balance. But for the most part, to answer your question, really, the suits just creates this confidence in them that it's a beautiful thing to see. And I mean, if you watch my videos, you see how they look, you see how they strut. It's crazy to watch them walk in a suit. Like, they don't see me walk like that down the hall, but when they put it on, it's like shoot, they got this little swag about them, and I'm like, now, where did that come from? I've never seen you walk down the hall like that, but that jacket did it. And it's the cutest and adorable thing to watch them transform and tap into this confidence that they never thought they had.
Okay, and so if you were to give advice to a young man today, he may not be in elementary school, but a young man today who's trying to be successful and find his way, what advice would you give them? 3 things that you could say: try this, this, and this, or don't do this, this, and this. What would you say to them? Because this is your opportunity for those who aren't in your class.
Well, hey, I would say be open to change.
Okay.
First, definitely be open to change. And, if you don't have someone in your life that could be a mentor, there are images that, pushed me into that same arena. Is that I mean, the images back in the 70s and 80s were different than what they are now.
Sure.
But I found mentors in magazines. I found mentors on TV. Just listen to them. I mean, try to seek out a mentor if you can, and if you find someone that you are, you're comfortable with approaching. That's cool, or even a family member for that matter. Just really tap into that. And then I would say, the other thing is, just be kind to people, man. That's truly one of my most important things that I teach, kids, period. But, just like you were saying, to have this defining moment. But the thing is just be kind to folks, man, because you never know what or who you're going to visit again in your life. And I've done that. It's just so amazing to hear somebody say, man, you were so nice to me when I was this in college, and you still that same guy. I mean, it's because my grandmother raised me and she taught me to be kind to folks, man. And it goes a long way. So those are 3 of the things that I would push out.
Okay, and something you said before we close, you said you told him you loved him and you saw him break. Why is it important for men to express their true feelings to people, especially young people?
Well, I guess I can speak from true experience, not having to feel that same thing. It's something about being in a position where, as an athlete playing ball, no one's there. You don't see your dad cheering you on. You got to stomach that. Then you out here trying to figure this world out without a male figure guiding you through this crazy world, and you got to figure that out. You got to make so many mistakes. I got sick and tired of doing it wrong for so long. I just wanted to see what right felt like. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so when you're able to challenge a young man who I made him earn it, but at that moment I felt him
Yeah.
because it something resonated in me that was like, dang, that was what you went through, kind of,
Mhm.
and I couldn't help but, hug on him a little more and give him that direction. But as men, I wish with the whole mental health issues and things that are really becoming more and more pronounced in our community, and we speak on it, it's so important to stop trying to tell boys, you don't have to cry. Boy, don't you cry. What's wrong with you? You're a man up. You the man of the house now. No, he's not.
Mm-hmm.
Let's stop pushing these boys and putting that much pressure on them, but understand them and give them an opportunity to be emotional and share that, because we have to stomach so much and hold it all in, and then it becomes a breaking point, and then we don't even know how to manage that. You get in relationships and don't know how to manage it because you've been told to be so Brody and man up. Come on, man. We all cry. Those dark moments. You had that moment. Me
Mm-hmm.
as men, you broke. And that was his. He had his moment early. You
Yes.
know, so and I just wanted to be there to move him through that moment and let him know that it's okay.
Okay. Thank you. And I have one more question. This is a bonus question.
Absolutely.
I know you have a daughter.
Two.
Two. Oh, I didn't know you had two.
Yeah. Well,
You,
my stepdaughter is still
okay.
my baby. I told her all the time. She's like, "Dan, you were so great to see her." I say, "You want to taught me how to be a father first." You know
And
what I'm saying?
that's
So,
what I was going to say. I was going
yeah,
to ask you. You've mentioned about your dad a couple times and how he wasn't there. So,
right.
what did you do differently?
Man, that was the point right there. Is that
Yeah,
I said, all right, I went to Parkway South.
that's a high school in St. Louis. Yeah.
High school in St. Louis,
Mhm.
yes. And so we were bused out there and in the DC time of our lives in the 80s. And playing ball, was that one thing that did it, is that because I used to have to come home in a cab after the games, and it was just like nobody supported me. I never knew what it looked like. I mean, that's all my parents. Let's be 100. I mean, my mom and I, we had that conversation. And, I look over, I see the white kids' parents supporting them and cheering them on. Nobody cheered me on.
Mhm.
So I became a father, and it was like, you know what? I said then, when I was in high school, I never, if I ever have a kid, he would never, or she would never have to feel that.
Yes.
Well, got married, had a kid, and both of them played sports. My daughter, to see her, my biological, to see her um, go to state, twice, and then win state championship was like, because her mom and I, we may not have, we divorced later, and we may not have got along, but we co-parented. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? It was like, hey, when it came to our daughter, we was there, we was all in, 10 toes deep.
Mhm.
But to watch my daughter achieve a state championship in basketball, because I coached her from elementary up until middle school when I had to let her go,
Okay.
and then she get to high school and just become that little beast. And I was just like, oh my God, to see that I lived vicariously through her
Mhm.
winning state championship. And then
Mhm.
for her to later follow her mom and I to Jackson State and graduate from Jackson State University was like, she's following. I'm like, man, you following pops. That's what's up. So when we do things, it's like we're forever tied, even linked there too, as our alma mater being Jackson State University. Is just like, it's the most amazing feeling.
Mhm.
She got her degree just last December in
Yes.
biochem engineering, and just super proud of her. She looked DST. She got her pledge on.
I know. That's what I was going to say. My soror. Yes, very good.
Yeah, I know you adults, so I had to put that out there. But
Mhm.
just to watch her achieve all her goals, man. Like, my daughter graduated from high school on a Friday, and she went to college on the following Tuesday. She never had a chance to, because she was a part of a bridge program for engineering at Jackson
Mhm.
State, and she was mad. She did not want to go. She was like, "Oh, come on, man, I ain't getting no break," because she didn't. She volleyball, basketball, soccer, music. She was she just did it all, man,
Mhm.
and for her to go and then become Miss Freshman her freshman year is all because she said, Dad, if y'all wouldn't have pushed me to go, I would have never got to know all those people in the summer. So when I ran for Miss Freshman, all the people, a lot of those people knew it before those other freshmen came in thinking that they were going to get it. She
Gotcha.
won. So, I mean, just to watch her achieve all of that and support that, it just goes to show how important it is as even a father to push your kids and be there and support them, and how important it was, because it went right back to, I mean, I felt all of that all the way to her graduation. Was like, this is why I did what I did. And if I had to go through more of my story, I was homeless. You know, when I separated from my ex-wife, I lost everything. You know, upscale, everything. I mean, everything started to fall. But I know that's a whole lot of maybe time for another show. But yeah, that helped me understand fatherhood, and just to watch her and get those Father's Day messages. Like, my daughter wouldn't necessarily buy a car; she'd write a poem or something, and to tell me, "Dad, I saw you," it was like the most emotional moment of my life, is to say that, you know, my sacrifice was not in vain.
That is beautiful. You have said it all, and I want to thank you so much for sharing, sharing yourself and your heart, and making a difference for so many. And I just want to encourage you to keep doing that. Thank you very much for being here.
You're most welcome. Thank you, Jolene, for having me on your show. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.